pump. Do one more. We can try to start, I guess.
Okie doke.
Alright. Ready?
Ready.
Clear! Maybe not. We'll do another pump.
Too cold this morning.
Yeah. Give it a few seconds here. Let's try. Clear! What is up, everyone? My name's Tynan, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be flying from Abbotsford Airport to Qualicum Beach Airport. Planned altitude 2,500 feet. We'll be using runway 19 here out of Abbotsford, and they give us the Birch Point departure initially. Then they let us turn northwest as requested. You'll see I have to dodge some low-level clouds that hadn't burned off quite yet before making my way towards Pitt Meadows Airport, getting a hold of them, and they give us clearance through their zone. And after that, head over towards Vancouver Harbor and do the same with them. They give us clearance over towards Point Atkinson. Then we make our way across the Sunshine Coast towards Sechelt and cross the Georgia Strait, 4,500 feet. And then I do a precautionary at Qualicum Beach just to check it out since it's my first time there. Then make a full stop and then head back. So enjoy the trip. We got today Dom Dalla with a live set out of Belgrade he did for selected DJ sessions. So yeah, sit back, relax, and I'll cut in a few more times and give you an explanation as to what's going on. So yeah, enjoy. Just got cleared out of Pitt Meadows airspace there over Port Moody. Now I'm making my way over to the Second Narrows Bridge, and I'm going to get a hold of Vancouver Harbour Tower. They're going to give the clearance for us to go on the North Shore route at 2,500 feet over towards Point Atkinson, and then cross the Howe Sound over Bowen Island, and then they'll clear us en route. Just past Seashout here, making my way towards Half Moon Bay, and I'm going to climb up towards 4,500 feet. And I'm doing that for a few reasons. First of all, it's a much safer altitude to cross the strait at, being that it provides sufficient altitude for us to glide back to shore in the event of engine failure or other emergency. And also because westbound VFR traffic is required to be even 1,000-foot intervals plus 500 feet, and eastbound is required for odd 1,000-foot intervals plus 500 feet. So you'll see we do 5,500 feet on the crossing on the way back. So here we are now at Qualicum Beach Airport, just coming into the circuit here at 1,200 feet, just flying on the downwind. Going to turn base and line up for the runway. And this first pass I'm going to do at 200 feet AGL, just sort of checking out the area, checking out if there's any obstacles, debris on the runway, length of the runway, see what the trees are like, see what the wind is like on final here. And actually, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it was quite bumpy. I experienced a fair amount of wind shear, or maybe thermals, I'm not too sure, but it caused me to have to fight with the controls quite a lot to stay stable. So actually, on that first pass, I wasn't feeling too confident to land, but I came around and figured I'd give it a shot. Worst case, I can just go around. I've got plenty of fuel, and there's nobody in the circuit. So climb back up to circuit altitude and plan to come around for another pass. So I'm going to go 60 knots airspeed on the approach with 30 degrees of flaps. Aiming point will be pretty much the threshold. And luckily on this approach, I don't know why, but I got no wind shear at all, and it was super controlled, super smooth, and I put the plane down right where I wanted to. Didn't have to fight it at all. So that was great. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the flight. So Pitt Meadows just cleared us en route here, and I'm making my way back towards Abbotsford Airport. So plan is to call up tower over the 264th Highway interchange, which is a VFR checkpoint. And then they're going to give us the 264th arrival, believe it or not, which basically means we're going to fly towards Emmy, which is another VFR checkpoint, before turning final to make our landing on runway 19. I kept this landing sped up in the video just because it was safe. It was safe, don't get me wrong, but I was fighting a crosswind a little bit, and I got a thermal right at the last minute, probably like 100 feet over the runway or so, which caused me to float it just a bit, and then I ended up landing on one wheel because of the crosswind. So wasn't too proud of this one. Also totally was not on the center line, but it's okay. We're still learning. We only have 100 hours. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this trip today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the music as well. And I'll see you on the next one.
There we go.
Good shit.
That was fun.
Yeah, man. It really was.
Now we gotta check the GoPro videos. That landing in Qualicum, oh, that was gonna be so beautiful.
It's a good landing. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.